I don't know why, but I've been reading about like books about brains lately. I don't know. I'm just like happen to have like books about brains, and then coincidentally, I am interested in kind of like brain and nervous system that we have, human beings. And then, I've been reading it. And I thought to myself, like, it is kind of interesting to read these things because, like, brain and nervous system is really, like, important, like, does crucial, like, every part of our body is important and crucial, but also, like, when it comes to, like, reality and, like, consciousness, I don't know, consciousness, like when it comes to like these stuff, like brain and nervous system is does like crucial part. And then and I've been reading about like books, and I thought to myself, that's what I said. Okay, so what you thought about? So basically, like, brain is kind of like is the organ which that like process like information gathered by like five senses and like kind of like shape our reality or create our reality. I don't know the right word for this, but right. And I've been reading about like what is happening and like plasticity, like neuroplasticity and so on, like just stuff like that. And I was very intrigued, but at the same time I thought like this reality is just like combinations of like chemicals and electrical signals in our brains. And but it doesn't seem like it, right? Like there's tangible something out there and we're just like hanging out with it, like living with it. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I thought like just combinations of chemicals and electrical signals like can make us feel very like happy, very like hyped up, or very nervous, or very scared, or sometimes even like worst thing could happen to human beings, or the best thing could happen to human beings as well. But it's kind of interesting, right? Like just I don't know how to articulate this, but it, it evokes me kind of weird feelings that like I also like I also I also read that like some author this author was talking about like this reality is like virtual reality that brain is created by brain, like perceived by brain. I don't know the right word for this, but yeah, like, and we're like constantly worrying about stuff. We are overthinking about something. We're overreacting to something, you know. And sometimes, or like things happen in life, and that gets really worse and worse sometimes. And you're gonna wanna just like run away from everything, like throw everything away and just go somewhere far, far away. Or maybe just end this journey on this planet, right? I don't want anyone to do that. But what if these things are actually like doesn't exist, or like I said, virtual reality that our brains are creating? Oh my gosh, this is not what I want to talk about, but I thought like worrying about stuff like anxiety or stuff like that are kind of like intangible stuff, and but that can like us also, but to some people, these stuff kind of motivate themselves to like work harder or thrive or something, their goals. You know, it's literally is like how you interpret, the way you interpret, you know, if it's like at the end of the day, like whenever I don't know, I am always like thinking and like talking about this, but maybe I need to do it more because I am like thinking about it a lot. But life is all about misinterpretation. I've talked about it before in like previous video, I guess, or old videos. And then life is all about misinterpretation. But I really think so, because there's no right or wrong in life. But humans are the one kind of like put emotions to it and label these things, whether it's good or bad. And then sometimes it's sometimes it's societal consensus, or sometimes it's from your parents, it's from your colleagues, it's from your friends. Like, you know, as we grow up, we experience so many things, and especially like our survival instincts are kind of like sensitive to negative stuff, or like, you know, yeah, I guess so. I've already talked about this in previous video, but I will talk about it again. I don't care. But like I read that like our brain is still like living in savannah or in the wild, where we hunt to survive. So, but you know, in the physical world, we're not. Like, we're advanced, developed, like modern society we're living in. We're living in a very developed modern society, you know, with technologies. So that gap, like, you know, that gap between like in the wild and modern society, like so much gap between these two, right? So brain is still used to in the wild used to that lifestyle. We're used to be in the savannah. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's why so many like mental disorders or stress, like depression, like, you know, you name it, are happening because of that. So basically our brain is not, apparently what I read said that our brain is not still like used to this modern society. That's kind of interesting, right? To me, it is very, very interesting. So, and then, like, you know, electrical signals and chemicals, like, you know, adrenaline or GABA, GABA, or like, what is it? Acetylcholine, or something like that, like chemicals. Like, these stuff are actually like make us feel or sleep, like is enabling us to feel emotions or to have feelings, like sleep, memory, learning, even worrying about stuff. like I found it really interesting because how can I word this? Like when we are worrying about stuff, for me personally, or I think a lot of people do it, but we think of like the as much negative scenarios you can think of, as much negative scenario as you can think of, and then get depressed by that, and it almost makes me feel like, it makes you feel like that is exactly what's gonna happen, but it's not. It's not true. It is just illusion in your head, illusion in your brain. Like, but neuroplasticity, like, our brain is brilliant organ, I guess I could say, but also fragile to, like, it also gets affected easily by, like, external things or something outside of you. Does that make sense? So that's why environment you put yourself in is really important, because environment you're in can kill your possibilities or your abilities or your, like, something you're good at, but you get oppressed kind of oppressed by environment. But also if you put yourself in and a good environment, then you can, like, grow and grow faster, get better faster, get greater life better faster. I don't know, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but yeah. So going back to the topic, brain or something like that, and then, like, like I said, electrical signals and chemicals can, like, are kind of like these are the stuff kind of like shaping our reality or perceiving our reality or interpreting external things. I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know what, I am not expert on that. Like, what if the things you are worrying about, you are constantly caught up in, and you are constantly, like, thinking about it, overthinking about it, or worrying about it, or even stressed over it, but doesn't even actually exist, and combinations of your electrical signals and chemicals are just doing it, like, and makes you feel like it is real, it is tangible, and, like, it is life and death situation or something like that. And then, like, that is the worst thing you can experience. Like, your brain makes you feel like that, right? But it is just electrical signals and chemicals in our brain. Like, how, like, I thought to myself, like, obviously when you're thinking about, like, overthinking about something, or you are stressed by something, at least for me personally, I feel like it is the end of my world. And then, like, it almost makes me feel like I can't do anything about it, and all I gotta do is just, like, nothing. I can't do anything, and just freaking out. And as time passes by, that problem gets bigger and bigger, even though it doesn't even exist, and it is not tangible stuff, it is intangible stuff. But Like, does that make sense? Like, I always like get haunted by that like worry or anxiety that I have, and then like, and it feels like it's end of my world, and I can't even help it. I can't do anything about it. But what if it's just your brain's illusion? It is just an illusion that your brain is creating or shaping or perpetuating. Like, I thought to myself, how ridiculous is that? Like, if you see it objectively, like from like third person's point of view, I don't know. Like, I also like heard like someone is talking about like if you see it from like universal point of view, I don't know, from the universe, like if you look, like if you see yourself like from third person's point of view, or like very like from higher self or something greater or bigger or something, then like what you are doing is kind of like silly, because like our brain makes you feel like that is the end of your world, end of your life, but it is not. And there's so many countless like possibilities are there actually. And then as if like you're in a maze and you are like watching it like up above, like you are in the maze and you are watching it from like up above, and then like you can see like, oh, this way is connected to goal, or this way is faster, but in like from this person who is currently in like in the maze, like if they see wall in front of us, like high up wall, then it that makes you feel like it is dead end, and there's no like way to avoid it. Like you're, you know what I'm talking about. But what actually happening is like it is not dead end. Like in front of you is just like dead end, but there's like way possible, right, left, back, or something like that. But you are just looking at the wall in front of you and like freaking out. But if you just calm down, chill, and look and think objectively, and there's like so many ways to go and pass through or go through or avoid the wall and get to the goal. But we are actually, that's what is happening, like metaphorically. I don't know if that made sense or not, but so that is really interesting. But at the end of the day, like brain is just doing its job, which is like protect us or keep us alive, keep you alive. But in this modern society, survival instincts or how brain works is kind of like gets in your way to grow and expand, because like I said, it is still in the wild, still in living in savannah, but we're not. We're actually very developed, like technological modern society. So I know it's way easier said than done, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Are you kidding me? But yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is just don't let your brain take away your possibilities and your opportunities and the chances, your possibilities, your opportunities, and like, you know, your ability. You know, we have our own purpose for which differ for each person. So you clearly have purpose in this lifetime. And on top of that, that's why I think you have some sort of things you are good at, but others don't. Others are not. But you just don't realize it. Or maybe you know, maybe you already know, but your brain is in your way to do it. Then don't let your brain, it is just combinations of like electrical signals and chemicals. I know there's so many like different things are like, you know, it's complex. Like complicated things are happening, like, you know, so much things like intertwined. I know that, but like, you know, but at the end of the day, it's just electrical signals and chemicals in your brain, and there's nothing, and you are the creator of this, your reality. So I know it's way easier said than done, but do whatever you want. But period. That's it. Seriously. I know. That's what I've been struggling. That's what I have been struggling to do. So I'm with you. We're on the same path. But you know, you can do it. Because that's what you're here for. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. It's actually been a while since the last time I took video, so I was just like randomly yapping random stuff. So I don't even remember what I talked about in this video, but I hope you guys have wonderful, mystical, awesome, miraculous, beautiful, great nighttime, bedtime, morning, lunchtime, evening, weekends, weekdays, whenever you're watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you so much. Thank you.